Hello and welcome to the Merle and Locke podcast. I'm Merle.
And I'm Locke.
Set sail, Ed. Low expectations for everything nerd, accompanied by a healthy, albeit shampoo, helping and pointless banter, lack of focus, and quest to acquire knowledge.
And more.
And more. What we're going to go over today, we were, running a little short on topics, but over this past week, we've been talking about getting back into games that are being updated. We've tried out a couple new games, and we figure we just, talk about our experiences so far and what we look forward to. First of all, let's go into the new games that we've checked out. PANICORE is developed by Zetec Studio, or Zetec, and published. It's a two-man development team. They made this game. It's akin to In Silence, if you've ever played that one, which we have played both.
I don't know if they're all that way, though. I feel like that was a particular map with a creature that was very akin to In Silence.
Right, yeah. We only did the first level thus far, which was quite the challenge because we didn't know exactly what to expect. We knew it was going to be a monster, and we knew that the volume in which we spoke played a major part in our success of the level.
And we're bad with that.
Yes, we're awful with that because we all like to joke. We take the piss out of each other constantly. But, we had a lot of fun with it. So what it is, it's a up to 5-player cooperative game. I don't know as far as like all encompassing all the objectives that you have, but at least this first level that we did, it was just we went into this house and we had to escape. And there was a monster that was prowling around the house that was sensitive to noise. It was blind, but it could hear really well. So we had to play very silently. Now, as soon as we got in, we're usually used to a safe little hub to start the game where we talk about our plans, what we want to do, joke around a little bit, and then we go in and we do our thing. But this just drops you right in, apparently, because we were sitting there talking, chatting, and joking, and then all of a sudden the monster comes jumping out of the darkness and murders all of us, just completely wipes us.
Just one by one, just starts taking us out. It took one of us out. We tried to scatter and it just grabbed the other, then grabbed the next one. It was terrible.
We did that a couple of times because we were trying to get a feel for it. It took us a little bit to get used to it and how quiet we had to be. And the answer to that is very quiet. So we eventually got it. We got the hang of it. We said, okay, so we have to be dead silent and we have to figure out how to escape this house. We all split up in different directions, cover more ground. We had to go into these different rooms, all while avoiding this monster and trying not to lure it to us. So we were finding bits and pieces. We were finding a whole bunch of different keys because there's a lot of locked doors throughout the house. And none of the keys are reusable. They only have one use. So you have to get a different key for each and every door that you try to open. We looted around, got all the collectibles. In the first level, we had to make a ladder. There's a little workshop on the board. It had like a basic blueprint. It said, all right, what you got to do is you got to get 3 boards. You have to get those boards, you got to put them on the workbench, and you have to find a saw to saw them into smaller boards. And then you have to find a rope, tie them all together, make a ladder. Then you can utilize that ladder to escape somehow, which we weren't quite certain at the time of how to do, but we got all the pieces, we built the ladder.
Didn't even use it.
Yeah, we didn't even use it.
We were like, look at the job that we just did. Cool. And moved on.
It took forever because myself, for one, I was trying to find a key to the exit doors and none of the exit doors were open. So I was like, where the heck is this key? I can't find it. Turns out our other buddy had the key the whole time and I had no idea. So finally he opens one of the exits and it's the exit out into the garage where there's a car and we have to fix the car.
And I went upstairs to find a key for nothing, apparently.
We get all the bits. We have to get like a tire. We have to get a tire iron to be able to change the tire. We had to get oil for the car and we had to get a key for the car. And once we had all those pieces together, we fixed up the car, got into it, and we were able to escape the level.
One thing that I did want to ask, because I didn't get to ask you, at the time. Did you already know about the pieces that you needed for the ladder before you two found me in the room trying to build or like saw up the boards and everything?
Yeah, so I knew that we needed boards and we needed a rope.
Great, because I didn't.
Oh.
Because I just got to the room. I already was collecting a bunch of things. I found a tire, and I went, but I think that's something we're probably going to need to escape, right? I was going into this absolutely blind, did not know what we needed, did not know what to look for. I was just like, cool, grab the things, grab all the things. I grabbed the tire, I see the oil. I was like, cool, I'm going to grab that. So I grabbed that. I was like, because it's a car part. I'm going to need it. I did see the tire iron, but I didn't grab it. I don't know why. I think I didn't have a whole lot of inventory space. I saw a plank. I was like, looks important. So I grabbed the plank, and then I came across the little workshop classroom, seen the instructions on the board, and pulled out my board. I sat it down on the little ripper thing, and I was like, okay. I saw that it says you need a saw. I was like, cool, I already have one of those right here. And then you two come walking in, and I was like, what are you guys doing here? I couldn't really speak to you because I was too afraid of accidentally spiking my volume.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Yeah, you can't speak at all because it's all too loud.
You could speak, but as long as the monster was far enough away. I made sure like not to do anything sound related until I stopped hearing its little schmeagle. So I waited till it went away, and then I would start sawing the board. And then I seen it was you or our buddy that dropped off another plank. So I put that board up and I started sawing at that one. And then you brought another board, so I sawed that one too. That was like, all we need is the rope.
And it took me forever because I was going around the entire house the entire time looking for keys, and I unlocked all the doors. I had one key left, and I was looking at it. I was like, I think I unlocked all the doors. Maybe they just have extra keys. And I just kept going around, and I was like, I cannot find this rope for the life of me. This is driving me nuts. Eventually, right there at the end, I found another door that was kind of hidden because it was behind like this shelving, and there was an open door that was kind of blocking it. And I was like, oh my God, it's right there. And so I went up to that door, and it was the last door in the house. And lo and behold, there's the rope right there in that last door. And I was like, oh my God. So I opened that up, went in there, looted everything, got that rope, went down to the workshop, put the ladder together. I grabbed it. And then I started hearing all this click, 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 click. Because you could like click your flashlights at each other to get each other's attention. And our buddy, oh my God, bless him, but he clicked constantly.
Oh my God. So much.
It was annoying because I was like, every time he did it, I thought he was trying to get my attention, but most of the time it was just him, just fucking with his buttons, and just clicking for the fun of it. So I kept looking behind me to see what he wanted, but he did want my attention. I was like, oh my God. So,
Yep.
But yeah, you start clicking at me, and I saw you guys stacked up on one of the exit doors. So I followed you over, and yeah, it was the door leading out to the garage. And I was like, well, shit, what do I need this ladder for? But I held on to it. And then you guys had all the pieces to fix the car. I had the car key still on me, so I unlocked the doors. And then we finally beat the level. That level took us way longer than it should have, but it was just the fact that we didn't know exactly what we were doing. We didn't do the tutorial because we said, fuck tutorials. So we learned the hard way.
That we did.
Yeah. I'm sure that would have went much smoother, much quicker had we tried the tutorial beforehand to figure out what the hell we were doing.
Then we wouldn't have the stories that we have, right?
I mean, that's true.
Because I have my favorite little bit that happened while we were playing, and it was before we really figured out what we were supposed to do, even though I still had no idea what we were supposed to do. So my favorite bit is I was there along with our buddy. All of a sudden I see you, because you can see when your friends end up getting attacked. and then you can go and revive them then. But I seen your little aura just like drop down to the ground, and you said something. I forget what it was that you said. Well, there was like, oh no, and then I just see your body just ragdoll, and I laughed.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That had me going so hard, and then it immediately came down, killed our buddy, and came over and killed me because I was still laughing like a damn fool.
No. What happened was, like, you guys were searching one of the rooms downstairs, and I was like, okay, well, if you guys are doing that, I'm gonna head upstairs. So I start heading up the stairs, and I hear the monster, and I tried to hide in a corner. I was like, oh, I think he's going away. And then I started going back up again, and then the monster like turned around and started coming my way, and I was like, oh shit. So I tried to tuck behind a box as best I could, because I didn't have enough time to get away completely. It just got up and flew at me, and I was just like, oh. And then I heard you start laughing, and I was like, oh no.
I did one of those things where you try to hold back the laugh, and you just kind of go, and that was it. Then we were all dead. Yeah, that was it. That will be my funniest moment until we play it again. I would enjoy to try out the other maps.
Oh man, I'm pretty excited to try out the other maps. Now, like, granted, this game, it's not usually something that's kind of our speed. Well, we do love these horror games, these ones where you're up against a monster of some kind that can't necessarily be beaten, and you're very vulnerable, and you just have to try and avoid them. Like, we all have a love of that kind of game, and we get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's not something that we're usually accustomed to because, we're usually used to being able to combat the threat and eliminate it. But these games is just like a different twist, and it's very enjoyable because, you can't approach it all gung-ho and try to destroy the thing. You just have to avoid it and sneak about. And our other buddy that was playing with us, he had said after we were done, he was like, yeah, I gotta head to bed because being that quiet for that long, it made me really sleepy. So we're like, yeah, okay, well, we get it. So granted, you have to be super quiet. Yes. And that kind of takes away from the whole socializing aspect of playing video games. But at the same time, the little jokes in between, or like the little goat ropes that we get into as far as like messing things up or laughing at each other, it creates some pretty good stories that we can often get a laugh at. As far as the game itself, I think it's really good. It's really well done. I like how sensitive the monster is to speaking. It makes it more convincing. Like, yes, the monster itself, like the only one that we've gone up against, it is quite goofy as far as looks and sounds and movement cycles, especially when it hears something, like when it does that really quick movement. It is unsettling, but at the same time, if you get a good look at it, it's pretty funny. For a 2-man dev team, these 1- and 2-man dev teams that are starting to release games, I mean, good Lord, the things that these guys are able to come up with, it's very impressive, and I'm very impressed with the game. I'm very excited to play more of it and see what else they come out with. It was only a few dollars. We, of course, got it on sale, but it's only on sale for like a couple dollars less. So in the beginning, it's like, what, maybe $5-6, and it was on sale for like $4 or something like that. And for this good of a game, I mean, that's crazy that they're not asking for more. I'm very impressed, with the integrity of these guys saying like, it's not a fully polished game. We're still working on it, but if you want to support us, throw us a couple bucks, you get access to what we got so far. I love that they're willing to do that. Many props to the team at Z-Tech or Ztech. I wish I knew how to pronounce it. It's ZTEK Studio. Well done, guys. Your game is amazing. We're loving it. Can't wait to play more of it. Bravo. Thank you for joining us on the Merle and Locke podcast. If you enjoyed this banter, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/merleandlocke or simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.